Hello, this is Scottish Girl on Instagram coming at you with a podcast called The Trees Have Eyes on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Spreaker.com. Hello, everyone. Sorry I had to pause for a second. I just really have to slowly get myself to talk because, I don't know. Sometimes certain parts of my life I can never understand. Like, it's hard to explain. I have to explain into so much great detail to see through the eyes of one person. Otherwise, it's impossible to understand what a person may go through without seeing through their own eyes and knowing what goes on through their own perspective. I've learned that a person cannot learn an entire person's life without living their life on their own and know their own life. And so you can't be a student in an old building learning about the past. That's not how you can learn about a whole bunch of people who have suffered and gone through so much problems that were unnecessary for them and were inhumane, and they didn't level up to what they were actually experiencing, like why they were there in the first place. Because a lot of reasons why people go through suffering is because of traumatic reasons. It's not their fault that they were abused as a child or they were suffering through something that they didn't have to go through or suffer from. It was completely unnecessary. And a lot of things that happen to people cause problems for people. That is truly what mental health issues are. They're just, circumstances that people shouldn't go through. And it's not their fault. It's not even the mental health condition itself. It's what fire started it. It started in the first place. Like, who started the fire? To start the health problem or the bad environment that shouldn't have been that bad. It ultimately started with the person that came before that, before the person, the other person, the other person. We all go through something and our responses are not always the same, but they're not all mental health problems. They're cause and effect of things that have happened to us. And so, it's just crazy how I've been to so many mental hospitals. They were never for any true good reason to go there. I mean, nobody goes to a mental hospital to get treatment anyways because it doesn't really treat the illness or the whatever. It doesn't treat anybody. It makes them more depressed. It's obvious that somebody who feels locked up is not going to feel good afterwards. There's always an after effect of feeling locked up or feeling like there's cameras in the building. There's people that are strangers that I'm talking to. People with all these problems that they shouldn't be sharing their problems with me because I don't want to share my problems with them. I don't think anybody needs to know anyone's business unless they feel confident that they can go up to some random stranger in public and tell them. It's stupid. I apologize if, like, I don't have to say I'm sorry, but I I don't feel like I'm really getting it all out as much as I want to. But I can say a lot of things. I can say a lot of what I want to say, and it starts with me opening up and not even caring what I say. I can say whatever I want. I shouldn't have to make myself feel offended that I made someone else feel offended. That doesn't offend me. It's just, we all have a fight or flight response in us that wants our protection. We want to protect ourselves from overwhelmances that are too disturbing. And finally, when somebody finally gets out their anger and says enough is enough, I demand respect. That happens because enough is enough. I demand respect. I want what's best for me. I don't want people to constantly abuse me and get away with it and be like, it's okay that, she's in this psych unit for 4 months to not have a place to live anymore. That stuff's like, that's crazy. I look back on that and I like the times that I've gotten out of situations is because I decided to say enough is enough, and I stood up for myself and I said, no, I don't want to be in this situation by any means. Because why would I have to go through so much controlling abuse? When I'm pretty stable without any. If I was having a true peaceful life, I think I would be 100% doing so well. It's just the toxic environmental problems when I'm in a hospital that flips me the fuck off. That's not helpful to me. I've been through so many of those hospital visits, and I'm just really, really just, I cannot waste my time anymore on this earth. I have been in bed all day, and it's not because of depression. It's not because of anxiety. I don't have problems where I hallucinate. I'm not taking no psychedelics either. I don't get high. I don't drink too much. I don't have any drugs in my system. I don't even drink coffee. And I just feel like I don't fucking care. Something in me tells me I don't fucking care. And why in my situation would I? Why would I care if these past events, just even the present, it keep repeating for so many years, and once you've had enough of that, you say enough is enough, and there's really nothing that you can do to stop it. It just keeps repeating itself. The history will repeat itself over and over again. And like I said in my previous, podcasts, it's like until you're deceased, it will never end. And that's not even the way I should be thinking about things. I shouldn't think like that. I had this dream where I was in this old house. It was like really old or something. There was like old carpeting, and I had this son, and I was like neglecting him, and he didn't have his alarm clock, so I had to show him where his alarm clock was and put his alarm clock next to his bed. His room was flooded with all this nasty yellow water, and there was a lake right next to the house. It was like flooded on the carpeting. The whole carpeting was filled with water. And I was trying to get myself out of bed to clean, because the whole day I never cleaned or anything. And it was like I was neglecting myself, and I was neglecting my son, and there was nothing outside of the space of the house that I had to do. There was absolutely no responsibilities or whatsoever. I had no job. I had nothing going on for myself. I had nothing there. No school for my son. There was nothing going on that I needed to work hard towards. And it's kind of like a reflection off of my household right now. Okay, I'm a 32-year-old woman, and I need to have a schedule to function. I would never neglect myself, nor would I neglect my own kids. And I think it's wrong for my environment to be about toxicity and toxins and not living my life up to my own expectations. I currently live with my parents, like I've said in a previous podcast. I do not get along with them that much. I don't want to get along with them. I don't like them. I don't have the keys to their house, nor do I have the code to their garage. And like I've said before, it's like they're putting me at risk for being homeless or being a victim of trafficking, which I would call myself a survivor, because I call myself a goddess. And the goddess within me is not what this destructive self-sabotage is saying towards me. And I'm not even selfly doing it as much. I think it's really the toxic people that have been inviting themselves into my ozone. And I don't need all that toxins. I don't need anything to toxically ruin what I have going for myself, or what I had before, that I've somehow just decided to drift off a little bit and say enough is enough, and fuck off, and I don't give a fuck, because I don't really care about bullshit. I'm not going to work hard for something that's not going to happen to me in real life. So I try to do, enough that I can do right now. But then something in me tells me that's not worth doing, because something naturally just tells me to stop, because there's no point in trying to do something that I'm wasting my efforts for. If I'm not wasting my efforts, then that's a great thing. I'm glad that I didn't waste any efforts. But it's just learned behavior. It's what I've learned from being in mental hospitals for so long. I've learned to do nothing. I learned to walk too much, or else just stop walking because I'm tired of doing it. Recently I haven't been exercising. I've just been lying in bed a little bit and just kind of sitting whenever I can, doing whatever's on my mind, So recently I've been trying to get ready for being a street DJ seasonal, and trying to make lists of songs that I want to play for each day that I play. I have songs that I play, or like voiceover, like I sing the song that's playing, a certain song or So it's good to practice those things. I want to have a schedule. I want to have a job. I want to work. I want to get money, have enough money to better myself, better my quality of life, and have my own place and pay my own bills. And this mental health garbage isn't healthy. It's like people are throwing garbage in my face, telling me lies about me that aren't true. Like, it's literally just saying things about me that are garbage. Like, it's like someone's on stage and you're throwing tomatoes at them because they're on stage and they told a bad joke, or they sung a song that wasn't right. They didn't sing that song. People didn't agree with it. They didn't have a good voice. Their voice sounded crappy. Another form of exploitation that's unhealthy. You know, I don't think that I can continue dealing with people's garbage being thrown at my face. I'm really tired of it. I'm tired of the garbage being thrown in my face. I think for someone to say that in a courtroom, for someone to say that I'm not guilty because I'm insane, that's the same as saying I am guilty because I am insane. I don't think that would really help me. Honestly, I'd have to talk to my public defender about saying something else, but I know what she's going to say, and it's that what she's required to do by law for all people. That slap the bitch on slap a bitch day. So what? Like, is that really a reason to stick someone in a mental health care facility, like imprisonment for like prisoners and shit? 4 months, years? I mean, that's not a reason to ruin someone's life. If they're just simply tired of being in mental hospitals, they're trying to figure out a way to get out of there. And it kind of scares me a little bit. It's like, why would somebody logically throw me in a mental hospital because I didn't do nothing? It was just simply harassment, or because somebody physically assaulted me, so they didn't get into trouble for it. But I go to Springfields for being guilty for being insane because I don't understand circumstances that get me into problems. I don't understand what I physically did to somebody to harm someone. You think I don't understand what I did? I very much know what I did, and it was to get out of there. And look at me now. I'm not there right now. I'm here. I'm out of the hospital now. So, you know, it's weird. I don't want to take any chances of trying to get myself into a bad predicament because of fear. I think that's wrong. I think if anything, anyone in my household, they shouldn't make money off of me and try to exploit me. They shouldn't fraudulently accuse me of things that I don't do, or fraudulently harass me by calling the cops all the time, so they can just basically say that I'm a felon and say that I've done all this damage to people, yet I'm really not guilty at all. No flaws whatsoever. I do not have mental incapacity. I'm very mentally capable. I know what I'm doing when I do it. I'm not stupid. Why else would I do the things that I do? And obviously, at this point in time, which I was a long time ago, I'm tired of a lot of this stuff. I'm surprised I could handle that much for those years. I remember when I was 20 years old, I had a back problem and I couldn't walk. I was in so much excruciating pain. They had to stick me with morphine. I'm shocked that I'm still alive, that I'm still here to this day. I'm still wondering, why am I still alive? Why am I still here? There's got to be some good purpose in my life to still, be alive. And a lot of things in life, they never make sense. In my life, personally, my life. I don't think in my life things make sense that much because I've just been through too much shit excessively. And if life that you live is supposed to destroy the life that you have, I mean, think about this. You have your environment, and that is the life that you see. But then you have the life that you're living, and that's your body and your soul and your shell and your heart that's beating and your brain that actually works right. And it's sucking in all this environmental whatever. Just think of yourself as like a baby, and you're born into this world, and the environment is always going to be toxic. So you have to live no matter what through each toxin that destroys you in some way. You have to go through it, and you have to survive no matter what. It's a constant struggle to be alive. It's, it can be a constant struggle to live life and survive. How can people do it? I don't know. I don't know how I can do it. I don't know how. I've never wanted to commit suicide in my life. I've never cut myself. I've never hurt myself. I think the issue is the toxic people that say things that aren't true about me. They say a lot of things that aren't true about me. Whether it's for fraudulent purposes, if anything, it's not for my best benefit. It's not for me to grow as a person. So I have to constantly be out of my comfort zone to understand why the environment that I live in is so toxic and why the people that are toxic don't want me to live my life. They don't want me to be alive, it seems. Well, I'm still living and I still want to do what's best for me. So is that competent or not? Like, is that a stupid thing that unpopular people say? Like, it's okay to be unique, but to say somebody is mentally incompetent, that's crazy. That alone is crazy. I don't believe in the negativity or the social abuse. I don't believe in the social media abuse either. I think if anybody's trying to use this podcast or any video I put up on YouTube as an excuse to say that I should go to a mental hospital, they're entirely fucking crazy and nosy, very nosy. A police officer had to listen to 5 minutes of my podcast because I have a mother who I wouldn't consider my mother. I'd probably consider her adoptive family. I don't know if I was adopted or not, but what if I was? I've always had this thought in my back of my mind thinking I never really relate to my own family or my family, like my parents. They just don't give me freedom of speech or rights to be myself just as I am. I was brought into a world of feeling like I was like the only one, or I was alone in this aloneness of I'm the only one, because I was brainwashed from baby toddler to adulthood, to past adulthood, as I need to have low self-esteem because I'm not worth anything. And my voice doesn't fucking matter. Oh, you know what, bitch? It sure does. And that's me talking to myself. And talking to yourself doesn't make you a schizophrenic. Everybody can talk for themselves. People always do that. If anybody believes that they don't, then get your brain checked. Someone didn't teach you what you already know. So I don't know. Nobody should ever feel like they're a criminal for just being themselves. No one should ever believe that they need to have to do so much to get out of a situation because it's not their fault. When really it's just stress. Anybody can beat somebody up over stress. Anybody can do something. They can murder somebody because of stress. It doesn't mean they're mentally incompetent. It just means that they did it because they were stressed out. Does that give somebody right to murder somebody? No, it doesn't. But that doesn't mean that one person in a mental hospital because of stress, that person would react because of stress, that they don't belong in that situation. They've had enough is enough, and my civil rights matter more than yours. Obviously, that's how the world is. People do that all the time. Everybody's different. We all want to stand up for our own rights. It doesn't mean we're crooked or criminals. It just means there are laws to protect everybody. But there are laws to protect people like me, because I don't have to be in a fucking mental hospital all the time. I can live my life this last 8 years and not feel like I have to be in some mental asylum for years, because if I get out of that situation, the only way I can do that is to run away. And that's dangerous in my situation. I have no money. Okay, I don't have money coming in. I don't have an income that's sufficient for me. I'm a payee person. I have a payee who gives me money. And I think that's a retarded form of transportation or whatever, And I don't have to deal with that, because I know how to be financially successful on my own. And, I don't have to be dependent. I can just let it all go. If I choose to go some other route to escape, that's my decision. But why would somebody like me do that in this position? It's almost wintertime. And that alone is unsafe. And to be in a mental hospital is unsafe during this time, because if I don't have my stuff because someone's not giving me the stuff from their house because they want me to be homeless, because they're putting me at risk for human trafficking as a victim of trafficking, exploiting and sexualizing a woman to put her on a street, saying she's incompetent, having all these mental health problems that she doesn't really have, but they're just going to say that for fraudulent purposes. I mean, allegedly, what kind of couple is retired and they make like $194,000 a year? What kind of couple does that? And let's say that's not fraud. It is fraud. What kind of person has a $13,000 credit limit on their credit card, but they're retired? They must have really good credit, but how did you pay it off? You must have had a lot of money to pay off all that credit. You must spend a lot of money to have $13,000 available for credit. Because most people they don't spend a lot of money. They spend on average, like, not everybody doesn't spend a lot of money. There's people that spend a lot of money. There's people that don't. It just depends on if you're a millionaire or not, you know, if you have the assets. And I don't think I would ever have assets because of people that are toxic that want to take money from me and claim themselves as having more than $150,000 a year on their IRS or to Social Security. Tell everybody I make this much money. I still deserve Medicare and Medicaid. Okay. It's crazy how someone can be affected and not make any money because of some person who wants to get rich and waste somebody's life away because they were born from their vagina. Okay. So maybe you should have started to help that person that was born from your vagina. Maybe you should have helped that person have assistance before you fucking stole from them and forced them to not have what they need in life, so they can't gain nothing in life anyways. Just throw their life in a garbage can. It didn't mean nothing. Flush their life down the toilet. Their life means nothing to you. You know, because you're the one who decided to have sex without protection to make a person, a human being, who was supposed to live their life. If I ever get a forced abortion, just know I wanted that child to live their best life. It didn't matter the resources I had. It doesn't matter what people said about me. I deserve to live my life the way I want to live my life, and I have choices for my life. And for someone to grab a hold of my body and force me into a car, that doesn't help me have rights. I will never have rights to my life, and I will never have kids because of someone telling me I can't have a life and I can't have kids. But what do I know about myself? I know a lot of good things about myself, good qualities I have. Okay. I am a goddess. I am queen of my finances, my financial. I own myself. I own my body. Nobody owns me. I know that because I am me. I'm a queen for myself. And I don't tolerate people destroying my life or what I have for myself or my resources or the stuff that I have or the clothes on me. Because you know what? I might as well just be naked. I might as well be lying on the side of the road naked and be like, my body is the heart of St. Mary, no human trafficking, no abortion zone, and I stand with my life. That might just be the case that I'm not retarded in any way. People just have stolen my necessities to live my life and my rights as a woman from me, so I can't live my life. But I have the right. I ultimately have the right to live my life. Because it doesn't matter if I stand up for myself or not. I have the right to stand up for myself if I want to. And I have the right to live my life. I have the right for a police officer to tell a police officer, no, I would not like to go to the hospital. I should not be forced to go to a hospital and be in that hospital for a whole week long and never get admitted to any hospitals. I don't think any hospital would ever admit me, honestly. Not even McFarland. So, I think it's so fucking sick how I would wait for months to get into McFarland in an emergency department. But I did not really commit much of a crime. How it all started was my dad physically assaulted me, and I'm at risk of homelessness because of my environment of the household, where they don't want me to live the best life. They want me to constantly go be confined in a mental hospital. Or my dad says it's okay to beat me up so then I get there. And he gets away with it, but I don't get away with slapping someone. And it's all setting me up for failure. Because I don't have to go through all that. Enough is enough. I've had enough. If there is some person who is going to save me from this catastrophe, I mean, I think it's only me who can. I'm not even trying to feel like, oh God, please save me. I just feel like I need to have legal rights to live my life, because I feel like I haven't really had any control over the toxic effects of people and their bullshit. I think I deserve to lead my own self, lead my own life, so people can have peace and I can have peace too. Because nobody just deals with anxiety for no reason. They sell those on Instagram. They sell pills without a prescription on Instagram for anxiety. And I don't feel like I have anxiety. I feel like I'm just I have annoyance. I'm very annoyed at all this. It's annoyance. It's like I'm not depressed, I'm annoyed. I'm just like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, let me live my life on my own. Sometimes I think it's kind of pointless to make a podcast, but sometimes I think it's good for me to just let it out. Because I don't really think many people listen to it, because I just have a very small crowd of people. And I know why that is. Of course, someone like me wouldn't have a big audience. Because anyone who exploits a human being wants them to have a small audience and not be heard. Isn't it obvious that, according to authority figures, my life and my voice doesn't matter as much? For people like me, I don't feel like my life matters as much. But I'm telling myself that my life does matter, because I want it to matter. Of course, that's what I want for myself. I don't choose to be at risk of homelessness. I don't choose to not have keys to the place that I pay bills for. I don't choose the things that I don't choose or whatever. We all have choices, and we all want what's best for us. And it's really sad if we can't get very far because it's not our fault. And don't we all want to wish ourselves a Merry Christmas and just be stable and, live that good life or whatever? And even a famous person would say, I want a better life because, yes, I have lots of money, but does that make me happy? I feel like everyone's constantly in my business. I mean, that's what any celebrity person would say. They'd say, people are just constantly nosy. People want to know more things about Kylie. They want to know everything about Coco. And we can't have everything we want in life. It's not going to be everything what we want in life, even when we think it is, because we can't have what other people have. We can only have what we can have. And I do want to level up. I want to level myself up so I can have what's best for me. But sometimes when something's not right to do and just waste your time, you just decide to not even try. You decide to let go of it, and that's just how it is. And people can't choose everything they want. I'm glad I made an extra podcast. I thought that the last one was probably going to be the last one. It wasn't. I still have chances of living in this house. I could be working out. I could use my elliptical machine. I could do a workout video. I could write down song lyrics. I could practice singing. I could practice dancing. I could practice what songs I'm going to play. And everything. I feel like when things get thrown at me, I feel like I have something left, and it's feeling like there's something left. Like I like to feel like there's some kind of talent that I have that throws everybody off, that's hateful towards me, to show some success in my life that I can do better. And hopefully that's the case. I can be the leader to my own life, and that I can honestly do what I want to do with my life, There's been all these times where I've wanted to do so many things in my life that I've never been able to do them because of, a lot of reasons. Maybe it wasn't money for school that I had. Maybe I wasn't really the only leader of my life. Maybe it was somebody else who was pushing my buttons, making sure that I couldn't leave my own life and have money to afford what I needed to lead my own life. It's crazy. Because I absolutely should be a goddess, own up to my own life. What can I change? Again, I pause when I talk and I just daze off a little bit because I'm like, I honestly want what's best. This is not a mental health issue. This is honestly a woman's rights issue. And my life does matter. And I am a woman. And I deserve to live my best life like a goddess. That is all I have to say for tonight. But you guys have a nice night. Bye.